Welcome to Conner Prairie, where you can take a trip back in time to a day when blacksmiths forged iron and farmers said gee and haw, to the 1830s when women folk spun wool and dipped candles, and working meant working hard. Welcome to Conner Prairie, where long ago is not so far away. Conner Prairie began in the determination of Eli Lilly to preserve the historic William Conner home place. This 300-acre pioneer settlement is located in the old Northwest Territory in Hamilton County, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. Although interstate access is just 5 minutes away, Conner Prairie is more than 150 years from where you live. Because here, the year is always 1836, and the day that company arrives is always a very special occasion. Today, Conner Prairie authentically recreates the past under the guidance and stewardship of Earlham College. The Richmond, Indiana Liberal Arts School began developing Conner Prairie into a living history museum in the mid-1960s. It's more than log cabins and antiques. It's a place where the past comes alive with real people. Good Housekeeping magazine calls this one of the 10 best places to relive America's past. Conner Prairie, an entertainment outing that teaches a lot more than history books. It breathes life into 19th century living, and it puts fun inside every fact it tells. This is the village of Prairietown, where you enter into the conversation of 1836. The first person to welcome you is Mrs. Zimmerman, who keeps the Golden Eagle Inn. A Pennsylvania German, Mrs. Zimmerman prepares meals for her 19th century travelers. The tap room is reserved for the men. You'll find the women folk in the ladies' sitting chamber, where if you listen real carefully, you might hear a bit of town gossip. Dr. and Mrs. Campbell are the leading citizens of Prairietown. In fact, they once owned all the land here. You can't miss their house. It's the fancy one in the center of town. The Campbells brought their southern traditions with them from Kentucky. People have moved from all over the country to Prairietown. There's the Curtis family from New York, and the McClures from Ohio, and the Fentons up from the Carolinas. Conner Prairie has researched typical 19th century settlers to Indiana to recreate an accurate look at history. The heart of Conner Prairie is this gracious 1823 Federal-style home built for William Conner. Conner had settled near here at the turn of the century to set up his fur trading post on the banks of the White River. But this home, built for Conner's wife Elizabeth, much better reflected the Conner family's status in the community. It was here that Circuit Court kept the laws and politicians made them. The Conner home even served as post office for the area. From Conner's porch, you can see the land. Looking across the White River floodplain, you get a sense of the power the frontier had to attract men like Conner. The lure of the land. The promise of an unspoiled wilderness where men were free to explore the farthest reaches of their ambitions and energies. Conner Prairie is more than a walking through history. It's an entering in. Amid the relaxing atmosphere of log buildings and tall shade trees, you participate in activities of the 1830s. Here in the Pioneer Adventure Area, the arts and crafts and fun and games of pioneer life comes alive. Experience what it's really like to dip a candle or weave a shuttle through warp threads. Try your hand at spinning wool that's just been sheared from sheep grazing in nearby pastures. Or take a turn at working with wood. Connor Prairie's skilled craftsmen will guide you every step of the way. Connor Prairie, for picnics and parties, and hay rides and hoedowns, or educational tours, or just plain fun. 5 minutes from the interstate, but 150 years from where you live. Connor Prairie, where long ago is not so far away.